A lot of changes in personnel and a new mood in the camp at Headingley. Anthony Farrell there, one of those changes in personnel. Robbie Paul, first ever hat-trick of tries at Wembley last season, the inspiration in midfield behind the Bulls. Skipper of Bradford today, and Gary Mercer, the former Kiwi Test player, 5 years at Headingley, plenty of pace, plenty of power, once a wingman, now at loose forward. Russell Smith, his third appearance on our screens in the Challenge Cup. He was in the middle for Wigan and St Helens and Warrington and Salford, and very effective he was too. 33 years of age from Castleford. Just preparing to make the toss for the choice of ends. Pitch in ideal condition. Ideal for running rugby. As Joe Lydon said a little earlier, a perfect afternoon. We've had sunshine all morning, but the breeze is getting up. It is getting a little stronger, and that could prove a problem for the fullbacks. Richie Blackmore, the big Kiwi, another Kiwi, Rehana, the prop forward for Bradford. Blackmore, former Auckland Warriors centre star. Francis Cummins there, the youngest ever player at 17 years of age to appear at Wembley. Sonny Nicol, Great Britain second row star. Steve McNamara there, just settling the rest of the team down. And the toss for the choice of ends. Always a great atmosphere here at the McAlpine Stadium. A mini Wembley of the North. Players relish the occasion. And Gary Mercer just discussing with referee Russell Smith as to which end he will play. Francis Cummins has been in tremendous form this season. The powerful prop forward Jamie Matthew. And Bradford Bulls to meet Leeds in the second Silk Cut Challenge Cup semi-final for the right to face St Helens at Wembley on Saturday, May the 3rd. We'll be there. I hope you can join us on Grandstand. Steve, there's a real atmosphere here, isn't there?
There is an atmosphere. It's a fantastic crowd here. There's a lot of supporters from Leeds and a lot from Bradford, and the noise is deafening.
It certainly is. Joe, deafening is an understatement.
I'm sure the players won't mind that. It'll certainly help them to get keyed up ready for this game. They're about to kick off now, and I'm sure tensions and nerves are at a premium.
And we're underway. A hectic 80 minutes ahead of us. Adrian Morley, one of the good youngsters in the game today. Leeds then using the forwards already. Gary Mercer setting the example. The skipper, 10 times Challenge Cup winners Leeds, 16 times in a final. Jamie Matthew, number 20, one of the newcomers in this Leeds side, an Aussie. Ken Safaro, another new signing from the Sheffield Eagles. 22 changes this winter in this Leeds side. 13 players moving on, 9 joining at Headingley. Good move up there to Francis Cummins. Tries to cut inside. Well held by Danny Peacock. And that's the handover, Steve. And no kick.
Yeah, Leeds started off very strong. They could have done with a kick deep in Bradford's territory, though, to put them under some pressure.
McDermott. James Lowes attacked in half-back to McNamara. Look for his good handling during this game. Always liable to slip a pass out of the tackle. Robbie Paul, one man who can slip a tackle. Certainly, Leeds coach Dean Bell has told the Leeds pack to get hold of him. 4 men in there at the tackle. Bradley. Oh, good run there by Sonny Nicol, going towards that line, but that's a superb cover tackle there, across there from Wayne Collins. Bradford, beautiful pass to Robbie Paul, he's lost it. Oh, And we talked about McNamara's passes. There we saw one. The chance for Paul wasn't taken.
It was a chance, it was a very good chance, but Robbie Paul just couldn't collect the ball. Bernard Dwyer was also on hand.
Yeah, James Lowe's there, just tries to push the pass. Robbie Paul couldn't get down to it. But that initial first break that Bradford made on the right side, that's what they worked out in the pre-match training.
And we mentioned that passions are high. There really is great rivalry between these two sides. Referee Russell Smith certainly got to get a grip of this.
Yes, now it all come into play. Graham Bradley runs in there, and then it all starts. Yeah, first it was young Morley. Morley is the one that started it there. It's not what we need in this game. We don't need fisticuffs. It's a good game rugby league, and with the team that's going to settle down and play this game properly, will be the team that'll get on top.
Yep, no need for the fisticuffs, but little doubt there that Graham Bradley was standing there in an offside position. He was stopping Leeds. So, Leeds on the charge again, and it's this man Matthew, former North Sydney Bears and Queensland Cowboys. Holroyd to Mercer. That's a good tackle by Bernard Dwyer. Morley. Already, Raihana being taken off. So, trouble already, Steve, for Bradford.
Yeah, it's not what Bradford want. Matthew Elliott wouldn't have wanted his prop to come off this early in the game, and he looks really shaky.
Good kick from Holroyd. Cummins is chasing for it. Oh, Hassan's got it. He's got Tony Kent with him on the outside. And there's a try for Leeds. Oh, the bounce of the ball worked wonders for Leeds down that left wing. But Tony Kent, the former Kiwi Test player, in there at the corner. But it was the precision kick to the corner that did the trick.
Precision kick into space, that was a secret. It bounced, and as we know from past games, this rugby ball can bounce in many different directions. And once Kemp got it on the outside, there was an easy run to the line. Fantastic kick.
Great play here, good quick service from Wayne Collins from dummy half. Holroyd puts the kick over the top. You just never know which way this rugby league ball's going to bounce. That's why the game's so great. And this is exactly the start that Bradford had last season, and I think it's in the same corner that Bradford scored last year.
And here we see a precision kick, as we say, but you can never judge the bounce of a ball in rugby league. It can go some funny ways, and it's gone Leeds' way this time. And a difficult kick for Graham Holroyd, right out there on the touchline, with the wind blustering around the stadium. Oh, and the wind just takes it across the face of the post. A good effort, not quite good enough, but 4 points to Leeds.
Holroyd switched to the scrum half spot for this game, and this is one of the reasons why. He has a great kicking game, he has great vision as well. Plus the kick into space, an evil bounce if you're a Bradford fan or a Bradford player. And then Hassan puts the ball on the outside to Kemp, who manages to get on the outside of the defence and score in the corner. What a start for Leeds.
Interesting to see Holroyd and Hassan involved in that movement. 2 of only 4 players remaining from last season's Leeds semi-final lineup. And Richard Duckingfee down there on the sidelines. What news?
Yes, Ray, news of Tahir Rihanna of Bradford, of course. So you wonder what part his absence played in that Leeds try. He was unconscious for a while, was Rihanna, now receiving treatment on the bench. He's got mild concussion. He's been examined, a little bit of concern about him, but he should be fit enough to return if necessary.
There we see number 12, Paul Medley, who has come on for him. No lack of experience there, Great Britain player. But Bradford now fighting back. It's Bradley down the set. Oh, good dummy. He's got Paul with him. Couldn't get the ball out. Excellent tackle there. But it's still Bradford pounding in. Bernard Dwyer. On the 5th tackle, I think Bradford had to go for the run there, Steve.
Well, Bernard Dwyer did, but early on when first Bradley made that break, he should have passed to Robbie Paul first time instead of throwing the dummy. Robbie Paul was in the hole with no one in front of him.
Certainly, this game being played at a tremendous pace. Paul Sterling there, another newcomer from the Hull side. Damien Gibson. Holroyd again to Matthew. Already relishing the charges is this former North Queensland Cowboys prop. Mercer. Back again to Farrell. Certainly this Leeds pack gone into Bradford very, very early on. Many, I felt, Joel, that many felt that this Bradford pack would get the upper hand in the early stages as they did last year.
It's a bit early to tell, though. They certainly wanted to do that, but Leeds have prepared. Again, they used the kicking game here, drilling the ball into the corner, just slowing things down. They know that they're on top in these early stages, and they want that to continue.
There's been a lot of talk about James Lowe's, the hooker. Now you see the average weight there. There's not a great deal in it. It's pretty 15 stone 9 to 15 stone 11. There's nothing at all in that. But as I was saying, James Lowe's been getting a lot of raps in the hooker area. But I can tell you one thing: the bloke from Leeds, Wayne Collins, is a top-class hooker.
Well, he certainly is. He's been in a couple of grand finals for St George, and there's another top-class hooker, James Lowe's. Russell Smith judging interference at the play of the ball.
You'll see here, as soon as you give somebody a rap, they let you down. They give a penalty away. Wayne Collins is just saying what a good player is, and he gives a penalty away.
Medley. McNamara trying to move this ball out wide to Bradley. Couldn't get the pass away. Picked up by Blackmore there. Big, powerful number 3 standoff. In fact, this Bradford back division is probably bigger than the pack. There's another big man, 16 stone 10. Paul Loughlin, number 24. 100 tries in his career. Matthew Elliott, the Bradford coach, in reflective move, and might he well be after a bad mistake like that. Martin Masella, another newcomer from the South Sydney side, a Tongan. And that was a good tackle again by McNamara. Rehana just having a stroll, probably just trying to get his thoughts back. Maybe coming on. Kemp to Holroyd. That's a good pass to Adrian Morley. Just can't get the ball away, this youngster. We saw his brother Chris book his place at Bradford with St Helens last week. Oh, and another high tester here for Stuart Spruce. Neither of them are on the ball. It's loose. Cummins and Spruce. Oh, he just gets the putt to it. But somehow I thought Stuart Spruce was off the ball there. I think he was confused by this stiff breeze that's swirling around. Cummins got his foot first to the ball, then it was a race, but Spruce recovered in time.
I think Bradford are very unlucky here, because from the dummy half and the play before, the play the ball, the dummy half knocked on. It should have been a scrum up there with the Bradford feed.
Carroll. Phil Hassan using well down that blind side. Leeds constantly attacking down that left-hand side. A switch of play now with Holroyd. To Kemp. Holroyd again. Good running. Blackmore. Oh, he's got some space. Sterling on this outside. He's had to cut inside. Good cover. Good cover tackle there by the prop forward, McDermott. But still Leeds on the attack. Holroyd again and Kemp working well in midfield. Kemp again. Good long pass. Oh, and it's Farrell just tackled inches short. Oh, that was a cruncher of a tackle from Paul Cook. But still Leeds put the pressure on. Not the best of kicks. Picked up very, very well by Stuart Spruce.
And a great start for Leeds. I was talking to Dean Bell before the game. He said that the team has been ready since Thursday. They wanted to go Thursday. They've been up for this game and focused.
Offside. No messing from Russell Smith. He wants them back 10 metres. as this wind here at the McAlpine Stadium grows in intensity. And there we can see, Steve, the dominance of Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds have had all the territory so far. As I was saying before, this is exactly the opposite to the way the game went to the semi-final here last season.
Yes, last season, the opening stages, it was all Bradford, but there's plenty of time left. There's only 4 points difference. There's only 12.5 minutes gone. And with players like Robbie Paul, their number one in the ranks, anything can happen. Bernard Dwyer.
Possession there as well goes the way of Leeds. They have had a cracking start to this game, exactly what they and their coach Dean Bell would have wanted.
But Bradford's certainly been in good form, 134 points on the way to the cup. Now, the first test for Leeds. Oh, he's lost it. It's loose. It's a knock-on. Damien Gibson there, losing the ball. Stuart Spruce did well to get up there.
He got through very quick for that. We didn't see on the replay whether he was onside or not, but he got through with a lot of pace there.
Leeds steadying the play down. They are in the lead. Adrian Morley. Dean Bell, 7 cup winners' medals with Wigan. No one knows better than him what's needed for a return to Wembley for Leeds. Penalty again against Bradford by Mr. Smith. Second man coming in. He judges that Lowe's flicked the ball out there from Wayne Collins, and I think he was right. Eagle eye there from Russell Smith. Matthew. Straightforward, simple tactics from Matthew. Holroyd again. Mercer. Graham Holroyd doing a lot of passing in midfield, Joe.
He'd be the key to the distribution from Leeds' point of view. His inclusion at scrum half does give Leeds the option of getting the ball wider, much faster.
Kemp. Good pass. But the gap was closed. Well looked after by Medley. And McNamara still going down that side. Good professional play. For a forward pass. Richie Blackmore overrunning the ball. So, relief for the Bulls.
It was very marginal, that. It looked okay from that camera angle, but Russell Smith was on the spot there.
And just a moment of concern on the Bradford bench about Danny Peacock. He's twisted his left leg and he's not moving as easily as they would like. He's giving about 5 minutes, see if it clears up, keeping a close eye on him. That's Danny Peacock for Bradford.
Laughlin. 72 amateur teams started out on the Wembley Trail many months ago, now down to St Helens, who are already at Wembley, and these two sides, Bradford and Leeds. Good play there by Manama. Oh, where was the support? Lowe's, top try scorer in the forwards last year with 11 for Bradford. Good dummy from McNamara. A speculative pass and a forward pass. But again, well-intentioned. The Bradford fans don't like it, but I think McNamara knows that it was a foot or two forward. But he's always dangerous getting that ball out of the tackle.
McNamara, that was certainly forward. That's where Bradford are dangerous too. They like to attack the short sides. They just attacked it 3 times in the one set of 6 there, and that's a play that Matthew Elliott will try a lot, is hit Leeds on the short side.
Just waiting for the ball to be returned from the crowd. Farrell. Again, Mercer. seems to be in sparkling form this season, the Kiwi. Collins, Holroyd to Kemp. Good long passing, trying to outflank this tight Bradford defence in midfield. Bradford clustering their forwards in the middle, moving up very, very quickly. And again, Leeds doing that because of that. Oh, well taken. I was just saying, Steve, Bradford moving up so quickly, Leeds using the tactic of the chip over the top to counteract it.
Well, that's good vision, that. That's a good way to break up the defence, that any team that keeps moving up so quick like Leeds are, Bradford are, the little chip over the top, and they seem to keep on the left-hand side. They've done it twice on the left-hand side now, so they've found a weakness there.
Well, of course, they've got a former wingman in there as well, in Francis Cummins, Joe, who's got real pace.
Yes, they've got pace across the back line for Leeds, and they've obviously looked at that tactic. They said, let's put the kick in, turn them round.
Brian McDermott, oh, he's out on his own. Where were the half-backs? Here's one of them now, Robbie Paul, missed out, loses the ball. Well, James Lowe is protesting to referee Russell Smith. You can't do that. He's been in the game long enough. and Gary Mercer says, button it. Here we see James Lowe's. Yes, he loses the ball. The ferocity of the tackle knocks the ball out of his hand. And whatever happens in rugby league, you never give back chat to a referee.
It just shows that the Bradford players are rattled. They have been rattled by the start that Leeds given them. They're off the game, and they're now back chatting. It was a tackle that jarred the ball free. Rose took exception to that and then decided to tell the referee about his situation.
They're the best of friends, really, Joe, aren't they? Matthew. Only Kemp trying the short pass from Anthony Farrell, and Farrell thought better of returning it. Kemp again, it's either Kemp or Holroyd. Here's Holroyd, both of them in midfield, causing problems. Oh, a slip there by Holroyd, well picked up there by McNamara. And suddenly, this big Bulls crowd gets behind them. They're looking for points, only trailing by 4 points to 0. Robbie Paul looking for an opening, doesn't find it. Good spotting of Robbie Paul so far in this opening 20 minutes. Spruce knocks off one man. Again, another of these 15, 16 stone Bradford Bulls backs. This is better from Bradford now. McNamara looked for the return pass, but well picked up by Matthew. Paul. Well, it's got height, it's not got real direction. And as you say, Joe, Bradford a little bit all fingers and thumbs at the moment.
They seem flat. I'm not sure whether it's because of injuries or because of positional changes, but a big factor in this game is Graham Bradley. Moving to the stand-up spot away from the centre, he will have a big influence how he plays.
Yes, I think we should recall that when we were down at London Broncos, we had Glenn Tomlinson in there at half-back. But a long time, and Bradley's a very experienced player. Blackmore, he's got away. Does he or does he not? No, he hasn't. Scales comes in to assist. Gibson. Another former North Queensland Cowboys fullback. On the fifth tackle, Holroyd again launches that high ball. That's a good one. It's got direction, but Spruce takes it superbly. Leaps into the air, beats a couple of men and still gets that pass away. Oh, that's international fullback play. Medley. Oh, that was a tackle and a half from Kemp. Nickel. I just get the feeling that Nickel might get away, and he does. He's got support inside him. Oh, he couldn't get the ball inside to Peacock, but a tremendous run by the second row. Bradford in full throttle here now. Lowe tries the dummy. Good defence there by Leeds. 5 metres from that Leeds line. McDermott edging nearer. A couple of tackles remaining in this sequence. to Cook. Can't get away. Still going. Well, that was a tackle. Yes. If you go to ground and the player puts you to ground and your elbow that's carrying the ball touches the ground, that's a tackle. There we see it. That's a tackle.
Yeah, Bradford at this stage seem to have lost the plot. There was 3 times in that set, Joe, where they could have offloaded and players decided to run themselves and not think of the team. They got a little bit greedy there.
They have to use the support. There's a couple of occasions when they haven't had it, but on 3 occasions on that set of 6, they had chances to pass to people in better positions who could have scored tries.
And that may have been a long kick, but it's not a good kick if you don't find touch. You must find touch in rugby league. Paul. Spruce. Suddenly, Bradford finding their feet. Number 22 there, McDermott. The 23. Bernard Dwyer takes the break. Oh, he's got to almost couldn't take the ball. Cam Medley with the kick. But too hard, too strong. Stuart Spruce taking a knock there to the ankle. They'll certainly not want Spruce to be leaving the pitch, and he isn't.
Bernard Dwyer looks for support on this occasion on the inside, couldn't get the pass to go to hand. And Paul Medley just kicked it too deep.
The strange thing with that pass inside there, Joe, was that there was a lot of Leeds players around and 2 Bradford players got to the ball first. There wasn't many Leeds players that wanted to put their body on the line to get to that loose ball.
Sterling, well, he was helping out, but he's caused problems. It's picked up. And Sonny Nicol lurking with intent down that right-hand side. Peacock. One of the few major signings by Bradford this season. Bradley. Coming more and more into the game now. Very, very big and powerful for a standoff. McNamara, number 26. Not too bad that, I think, for the ferocity of the tackling, Joe.
And it is fierce down there. They really are putting the bodies on the line in defence. Collisions at a premium.
Good charge through Spruce again. He's got McNamara with him. Can he get it to Spruce? He does. Oh, that's a good tackle. But still Nicholas out there. Hassan turned his back. Superb pass inside to Peacock. Oh, but magnificent cover defence there. And holding down. Holding down by Damien Gibson. It was a wonderful cover tackle by the Leeds fullback, but a penalty for holding down. Another sequence of 6 tackles. Can Leeds hold out here? They really are on the rack. Bradford hurling everything at them. On the short side. Peacock, oh, he's lost the ball! He's lost the ball! Instant decision there from referee Smith. And Leeds breathe again.
Well, I believe that should have been a penalty to Bradford. That ball was reefed out of the Bradford Bulls players' hands. Peacock had the ball stolen there.
I think that's 1 each now, because previously, when before they got the penalty, Bradford, they stole the ball off Leeds.
Yeah. Matthew already coming off after 25 minutes, probably just for a rest, and Tony Kemp welcoming a rest there. Just having a little water. It really is fast and furious. And there is the man who has come on, Barry McDermott. Big, powerful £100,000 signing from Wigan. Blackmore.
That was a good substitution from Dean Bell, bringing on a power player in Barry McDermott just to keep the momentum on Leeds' side.
There he is, Barry McDermott. For Jamie Matthew. I think we should remind viewers that we have 4 substitutes per team, and they are allowed 6 interchanges. Bradford possession here. Well, we have another player coming on here now, Terry Newton, number 21 coming on, and he's gone into the hooking spot for Wayne Collins. Well, they're on and off very, very quickly here. There he is, Terry Newton. Robbie Paul, not quite escaped their clutches yet, but always dangerous on a run like this. Good ball. Scales couldn't get away. It was that man Scales who did the damage in last season's semi-final. Bernard Dwyer.
You notice Robbie Paul there, he's very comfortable running from his right to left. That's where he makes most of his breaks, Robbie Paul, running from his right side to his left side.
And here is Robbie Paul, he's going for that line, he spins inside. Leeds look after him again. The temperature goes up in the stadium every time Paul gets hold of that ball. McDermott looks for the pass inside. McNamara and McDermott there combining. On the fifth tackle, a chance for Lowe's. Oh, he gets it! Lowe's! The little grubber kick, and James Lowe's, a former Leeds Hunslet player, puts the grubber kick in. It ricocheted off a Leeds player. He was alert, he was attentive, and that's why the score is 4 apiece. I mentioned he was the leading try scorer with 11 last season in the forwards, and here he is again.
I wasn't sure when this kick was put in by James Lowe's that it was the right option, but you have to be alert around the play of the ball area in defence. Leeds just went to sleep, let the ball be kicked through, didn't drop on it, weren't urgent enough in defence. And Lowe's gets a try at the side of the post.
Well, it certainly was. It was a good kick by James Lowe's, and now Steve McNamara with a not too difficult kick just to the left of the post, the sort that normally he would knock over any day, but in a semi-final you never know. Well, the roars that greet that ball tell you that he does knock it over. The flags are held high, and suddenly the Bulls fans are happy again. 6 points to 4, they lead.
Not the best kick to start off with. It's a little kick, but he just keeps following it through. It come off his feet twice actually, and James Lowe's follows this ball through. Has no trouble once it gets past the Leeds defenders to put his hands on the ball to score the try.
Unfortunately for Leeds, Joe, it just clips Gary Mercer's heel, doesn't it?
That's right, Gary Mercer turned his back, became entangled with Barry McDermott and gave Lowe's the opportunity to drop on the ball.
Adrian Morley, not had too many chances. He's a runner, is this youngster. Plenty of pace, but he's been well looked after. Sterling, one of the dual players these days, plays for both Leeds Rugby League and Leeds Rugby Union. Just half an hour gone, 2 points the difference. Oh, tremendous surging run there by McDermott. Well, Dean Bell looks confident enough, just having a sip of coffee. Again, well taken by Spruce. He's a strong lad and he makes good ground. He's such a big fullback, isn't he, Steve?
He's a big fullback. He's a great fullback. He's not the sort of player. That's not the sort of play you want to put the Stuart Spruce high balls. He'll take them 9 times out of 10. He's very safe.
Well, the Leeds hooker Wayne Collins on the bench. Wayne, Bradford are just pushing their way back into this game, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are. You know, we had a great start with an early try, but you know they've come back to their credit, and it's going to be a tough game from here on in for us.
Thanks, Wayne.
Well, here we see McDermott, no question at all, a head-high tackle, no need for it, and Bradley is fouled. Russell Smith just getting everybody away, good refereeing here. He doesn't want anyone else giving back chance, anyone else interfering. He wants to have a word with this man McDermott on his own.
He's going to put him on report. He's not going to send him out. And that's the right idea. This is a semi-final, a big game, Challenge Cup. You don't want to send a player off unless you're 100% sure. I think you put him on report and let Greg McCullum decide later on during the week what will happen.
Barry does catch him above the shoulder line, and that is a penalty.
Well, you wonder what is a penalty. I mean, you talk about sending off. Bobby Goulding was sent off in the St Helens Wigan clash for something somewhat similar.
No comment, Ray, no comment. But let it see what happens.
Bradley then to Paul again. Nice little hitch kick. Warren Jowett, number 16. Paul again. He's really beginning to make this Bradford side move down the flanks now. Jowett. Good strong run by. Oh, he's lost the ball. Bernard Dwyer there having treatment to looks like a cut beneath the nose. It could be a blood bin, not a substitution. Damien Gibson. Hassan. I think Leeds, Steve, will just want to hold the ball at the moment. You know, they've taken a pounding for 10 minutes from Bradford.
There's a fight on in the back play there, Ray.
Well, a fight there in the far side. These forwards really are flared up. I think one of the problems is that there are 3 or 4 former Leeds players in this Bradford side. Many times a player like that feels he has so much to prove. There we see Nicol and Hassan punching away at each other.
Yeah, Sonny Nicol, he didn't like the way that Phil Hassan pushed him, and both of them got in. They were niggling each other just before that in the tackle. As they were being tackled, Sonny Nicol was niggling Phil Hassan.
It is an ongoing problem, isn't it, Steve? The niggling that goes on at the play of the ball. Why players must push people off, why they must hold people down.
There's a sin binning there. Sonny Nicol's got sin bin.
There is Sonny Nicol going to the sin bin. He doesn't quite like it, but I'm afraid he'll have to sit there and put up with it.
He's also been joined by Phil Hassan. The referee decided to calm the situation down in the best way, and that's to send both players to the sin bin to have a think about things for 10 minutes.
Joe, this game, rugby league, it's a tough game. If you can't take a hard tackle, if you can't take hard knocks, if you can't take being pushed around a little bit, you shouldn't be playing.
No, but it just shows too how much tension and how much there is at stake in this game.
Newton to Holroyd. Again, a good 20-metre pass to Kent. Anthony Farrell dropping off on the inside, looking for that gap with a sliding defence, moving across. Kemp again. Holroyd. Newton rides the tackle. Oh, good sidestep by Holroyd. Looking for the support, not quite there. Gary Mercer, number 24, has moved out to the wing there for Hassan. Newton. Well, speculative kick. How will it bounce? Comfortably for Medley. Oh, and he does well there to evade the tackle. That would have been a drop out underneath the post, but good play there by Medley. And a good charge and pass again from McDermott, number 22. Medley there. McNamara. Again another high tackle. This time Masella, the big Tongan. Oh, that's a high tackle, and certainly Mr. Smith is going to have to do something here.
Yeah, you'd think the players would learn. First it was McDermott, now it's Masella. They've got to keep their tackles down. If you get up around near that ball carrying area or up around near the neck, they're going to be high. Keep them down below the chest.
Well, McNamara, he is a key player. He looks a little dazed. He needs assistance. No way should we be seeing tackles like that. And Mr. Smith has laid down in no uncertain terms to Masella that that is a final warning. I think we could see somebody being removed permanently, Steve, if things carry on.
Well, any high tackles like that is foul play, so he hasn't got the option of the sin bin. The only thing that can happen there is a straight sending off.
Medley charging the former Great Britain forward. And there we see Danny Peacock, another one in a dazed condition. I said that passions were roused when these two sides met. 5 apiece. Penalties. Oh, the dummy by McNamara. Just lost the support. And that surely is a penalty. And that surely is a sin bin. Yes. Again, interference. Handling. At the play the ball against Richie Blackmore. So, just look at this. Leeds lose another player. There it is, look. He holds his hand. McNamara can't play the ball. And Mr. Smith has no hesitation whatsoever. Reaches for his top pocket, and out comes the yellow card.
Right, the thing there was that he wasn't up off the ground to play the ball. The defender couldn't get away from him. He put the ball down on the ground before he regained his feet. It actually should have been a penalty to Leeds.
Leeds offside. Well, it's all action down there near that line. There we see him go. The ball, well, it is offside. It came off Masala and was picked up. Bradford though now, not taking the goal. Oh, and Loughlin goes through. Superb effort there from the big centre, Paul Loughlin. Over 100 tries in his career, and there's another one on towards the couple of 100. 4 times a losers medal at Wembley. He's looking for the winners. 10 points to 4 for the Bulls. And again, there's argument going on between the two sides. But no argument from those Bradford Bulls fans. Delight at this.
Yeah, Paul Loughlin just able to step out of very, what must be said, slack tackling by Leeds. They've tackled well, they've scrambled well, but on that occasion, Paul Loughlin was just able to step off his right foot and go straight through the gap. Gary Mercer was a player that missed a tackle for Leeds. Another 4 points for Bradford.
It was slack tackling by Leeds, but I think that last penalty once again, Bradford knocked the ball on, hit a Leeds player, and the Leeds player in front of that man, he ruled him offside. He should have played the Bradford knock on first.
Well, Mr. Smith just checking with his touch judge as to whether that Loughlin was fouled in the act of putting that ball down by the Leeds player. If he was, then we'll see another penalty, and that would be an 8-point try. But at the moment, I think the Bradford Bulls fans will be content to see this ball go over the bar from McNamara. He steadies himself. 12 metres out. Oh, and he misses it. He misses it. So, just 4 points there. 10 points to 4 for Bradford. And no extra penalty. We thought there might be a problem here when Paul Loughlin went through. We see him there, he goes down to put the ball down, and then there's a bit of a tackle, a little bit of a scuffle as the ball goes down. Was some doubt as to whether he was interfered with, but I don't think that was much, Steve.
It wasn't much, and he can only award an extra penalty after they score a try if, with the downward motion, that someone attacks the player as he's putting the ball down. If it happens after he's put the ball down, you can't get the extra kick.
Well, Bradford overcoming the adversity. Bernard Dwyer on the bench is having some fairly impromptu dental surgery as a result of the injury he got there. Some of his teeth went into his lip and some tissues had to be removed. So Bernard Dwyer obviously in some considerable pain. The Bradford dentist working on him. Danny Peacock, by the way, is off with that left leg knee injury that he got earlier in the first half.
There it is, half-time. It's been fierce, it's been furious. at times there have been some illegalities going on down there on the field, but whatever, the passion is there. 40 minutes away from Wembley. 10 points to 4 for Bradford, but still a lot to do before we find a winner.
That, and also it's a big 5.5 minutes for Leeds now, because they're the one that's got 2 players off. Bradford's got 1, and if they can hold on to the hold Bradford out for the next 5.5 minutes till Richie Blackmore gets back on, they'll be in with some chance.
A good tackling stint then needed from the Leeds Rhinos. Warren Jowett, a good youngster, making his way now in this Bradford Bulls pack, ex-Hunslet player. Well slipped there by Screws to Jowett again. Picked up by Kemp. Still plenty of nerves out there. And Leeds will enjoy this possession while they have a couple of men on the bench. They'll want to hold the possession as long and for as much as they can. Mercer. Holroyd finds Kemp again. Good long pass there from Holroyd to Gibson inside him. Good defence there from Loughlin. Farrell trying to force his way down that far side. Good attempt there on the blind side by the big second row. Not the best of passes for young Holroyd to pick up. He just has a look at Sterling. And I think a comment there from Medley against Holroyd just causes a little aggravation.
Yeah, Paul Sterling there. It was a bad pass from him from dummy half. Graham Holroyd, he had the pressure coming from Bradford players coming on him. He just couldn't handle the ball.
Phil Hassan just waiting for the signal to return to the fray, as will Sonny Nicol, no doubt. Good run by Spruce. Gets him back inside to Robbie Paul. He's well looked after. Good cover tackle there by Francis Cummins. He's got plenty of pace as the lead centre, number 4, but it's Bradford on the attack. Good pass there to Bradley. Suddenly, the Bulls move up another gear. James Laws, we can see the try line beckoning.
Bradford must get the ball out to their left now. They've got 2 men over, although they've got
McNamara, the dummy from McNamara, and he's in. Clever play from that Bradford loose forward. They had extra men on the outside. Our Leeds raced across there to cover, but no need. McNamara saw the gap, and that's why Bradford goes at 14 points to 4.
Yes, they just had too many men to try and defend against, while they were worried about the attacking coming down the far side. McNamara manages to throw the dummy, squeeze through the gap, and score the try.
Yeah, they played this set of 6 with 2 players short, Leeds. Tony Kemp, even though he did get back to the left-hand side there, he wasn't any use to him. He's hurt his arm pretty bad, Tony Kemp, and just waited numbers cold, and Bradford scored the try.
And notice how cleverly he moved the ball into his left hand there, Steve, so he could put that ball over the line. Good play by McNamara, and here he is now with the conversion attempt. And successful with that as well. So McNamara adds the 2 points to his try and takes Bradford Bulls out a little further. 16 points to 4, and that's a timely strike in this match. Here we see, notice he moves that ball to his left hand. He knows he wants to get over that line.
How important is it to have the same complement of players on the field all the time? Leeds have had Richie Blackmore, Sin Bin, they're a man down. Bradford have scored twice in that period.
Sterling. Barrow. Mercer. Oh, and a ripping out of the wall. A penalty. And Leeds certainly need that. Ryan Sheridan, the recent signing from Sheffield Eagles, on for Tony Kemp.
And on the Leeds bench, they're reflecting about the depleted resources. They were a man down already when Bradford scored that try, but Tony Kemp was taking no part in play, injuring his right arm, which he broke earlier.
Strong run there by McDermott. Leeds desperate for points. They've got to get themselves back into this game. Sheridan. Mercer trying his best as this Kiwi loops forward and leads skipper. Masala. Sun still shining here at Huddersfield. Ideal conditions. Holroyd. Good long pass. Cummins. But just look at the cover defence there from Bradford. 3 men as Sterling came inside. Sheridan again. Very clever footballer, this lad. Former Great Britain under-21s player. Mercer. Again picked up on that 5th tackle. I think Gary Mercer assumes that there's some more tackles left in the 6th sequence, but there isn't. Leeds not putting a little rubber kick in there.
No, they decided to run the ball. I'm not sure whether Gary Mercer knew it was the last tackle, but it was pretty ordinary play because they should have put pressure on Bradford, put the ball in goal area. They would have got it back.
Bradford sensibly, solidly using the pack of forwards here. Paul Medley. Oh, Paul Medley coming charging away. Now he's a very fast forward, but Terry Newton just flicks his ankles and down he comes. But he's gained 40 metres. Number 25 there, James Rose, sending the 13 through. And Medley taking a knock in the fall. And that's another penalty again for interference. How many times have we seen this afternoon? Medley looks to be in some pain there with his left leg.
Martin Maselli, you're seeing grab Sonny Nichols' leg. That's a penalty against him.
And a chance for McNamara.
Isn't he a great impact player, Paul Medley? He seems to do that a number of times. Comes on when the opposition get a little bit tired and always makes them big busts down the middle.
Well, this is part of the game now, isn't it, to have impact players on the bench?
It's very important, and the play the size and with the pace of Medley is what is a coach's dream.
Steve McNamara then with the goal kick. Really flowering as a goal kicker now, always behind the likes of Gary Pearce and Paul Eastwood as a kicker when he was at Hull. He was often relegated to number 2 kicker at the Boulevard, but not at Odsall, number 1 kicker. And with goals like that, no wonder. Straight between the uprights sends the Bradford Bulls dancing in their seats. Do they sense a return to Wembley again? I think they do. Here we see a perfect strike, accurate and true. Behind, says Russell Smith, not a knock-on. Barrow to McDermott. Ray Harner coming back. And Paul Medley off. Behind him again, says Russell Smith. Well, Leeds handling not too sure. There is Paul Medley taking a breather and a drink. There can't be many interchanges left on those benches, Joe.
No, that's exactly right. They haven't used them a lot, but we've also seen sin bin-ins. It's going to play a big factor later on when legs start to get tired and the gaps start to appear.
Scale has not had a lot to do in this match so far. Another former Leeds player. And Paul Loughlin, the former St Helens player, in possession now. Ray Harner cries a forward pass from the Leeds section, but not so, says Russell Smith. Robbie Paul weaving, darting, dodging. He puts pressure on any opposition when they begin to tire. James Lowes, and they're hitting Leeds hard around this ruck area. Leeds not moving back quickly enough. Bradford sensing that, coming at first receiver here. Bernard Dwyer. Good tackle there by McDermott. Lowes again. McNamara, little stump kick, but picked up well by Gibson. Oh, and good run. Did well there, the Leeds fullback.
Very important now for Leeds to find a little bit of rhythm. Go back to playing the football they started this game with, when they managed to take the lead.
Mercer. Sheridan. Good run around there. Well, this Ryan Sheridan, he's trying to get Leeds moving in midfield, as is this man Holroyd. Little chip kick, play on. Well taken there by Cummins, well taken, but again a good tackle there by number 7, Paul Cook. But it's Leeds on the attack. Sheridan again. Look for support to his right. There was none there. How many times have we seen Leeds on the 5th tackle, be tackled?
That's the second time in a row. That's the second time in a row they've been caught with the ball running the football. Ryan Sheridan, I don't know whether he knew it was the last tackle, but he's a halfback. He should know when to kick the football.
McDermott, oh good plunging run there by McDermott, number 22. James Lowes, 25, comes away. The numbers, I think, on this Bradford pack, a bit like a winning lottery ticket. 25s, 22s, 27s. And the number 13, a good old-fashioned 13, Sonny Nicol. But just look how they're coming away at this ruck area. Robbie Paul, 3 brilliant sidestep, gets into McNamara. Good tackle by Sterling, came in well from the wing to Loughlin. Lowes, but it's Bradford looking confident here now, running with confidence, handling with confidence, and Leeds on the rack. McNamara. Good positional play by Gibson, but good tackling by his opposite number, Stuart Spruce. A fullback on a fullback. Well, the referee, Russell Smith, judging there, Steve, that in fact he hauled him back over the line.
He said he was tackled in the field of play, and then Stuart Spruce pulled him back over in the in-goal area.
And that was the right decision too by the referee here. He'd managed to stay in the field of play and then was dragged back over the line.
It was like David and Goliath then, the size of the two players.
Holroyd. Again, to Morley. Adrian Morley has been sort of hanging out wide there, attempting to use his pace, but he's always been well covered. As has this man, McDermott, a little closer in. Well covered there by Bradley. Holroyd and Sheridan. Well, he's finding the gaps, is this man there, Sheridan. Glenn Tomlinson now stripping off. Farrell, good pass to Newton. Holroyd again. This is better from Leeds now. Sheridan. Oh, he took the wrong option. On the 5th tackle, Holroyd. Delicate little chip kick. Looks for the bounce. Well, those Bradford players are offside. They knew there. Another 6 tackles. Sterling. Leeds need to score now if they're to haul themselves back into this game. 18 points to 4 for Bradford. Masella is going for that line. Oh, he's just got himself over 18. prop forward. 16.5 stone. He used it to good effect. And as I was saying, Leeds have got themselves back into this game. And at least they're entertaining the Rhinos dancing girls. Here it is.
Martin Masella, this is all power and strength. This come about after that little chip kick that Holroyd put over. Leeds seem to have found a weakness in the Bradford defence of them chip kicks.
Yeah, Masella uses his power. Stuart Spruce actually makes a great tackle, but when you stood on the line trying to stop the momentum of somebody so big and powerful, it's very difficult, and he did get that ball down. Great try.
He just gets it down, and Holroyd is successful with the conversion. So Leeds are not down and out by any means. There's hope for their fans yet. Only 8 points the difference now. And this really is a charge. He looks at the opposition. He says, stop me if you dare. Now notice Sprucey, he goes high. He knows he has to go high. He tries to put Masala's body underneath him, but he can't.
Another very important point is Leeds are back to full strength now. Richie Blackmore returning from his sin binning. The 10 minutes is up and he's back in the fray.
And there is Richie Blackmore, number 3. And there's number 2, the substitute, Glenn Tomlinson, who has the ball immediately stolen. Tomlinson on the field for McNamara. Many of these rugby league players now multi-purpose. They can slot into the back row of a pack. They can play at half-back. That lad's played at loose forward this afternoon. I've seen him at stand-off. I've even seen him at prop. Real athletes today.
Paul Medley on the Bradford bench. Paul, in your words, the cat's amongst the pigeons now.
Yeah, it's about time for Leeds to score. They've, they've got to score now, and it's brought them back in the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, Leeds looked out of it for a while, but they're coming back quite strongly.
Yeah, it's the second half. It's the last shot of the dice now, and they're going to throw everything by the kitchen sink at us because they know we've got, maybe 30 minutes to win the game.
We'll see. Thanks, Paul.
Okay.
Leroy Rivet coming on, a young Leeds academy player. Just in time to sort himself out with his scrum mates as Bernard Dwyer is judged offside from a forward pass. Dwyer, of course, back on the field. He's had that dental surgery, a few stitches inserted in the lip. Mercer, good run there from Mercer. He's had a good strong game, Steve.
He's had a very strong game. So has Adrian Morley. He's the one that made that big tackle when Bradford just come up that mistake with the forward pass.
Suddenly, Leeds, I think, beginning to realise that all is not lost. Holroyd. Ooh, behind him, well passed to McDermott. Dean Bell had a couple of seasons at Headingley. Matthew Elliott in his first season. A very important game for both of those coaches. Newton did well to slip that ball out. Blackmore again. It's a touch.
Once again, the call on the last tackle was only a last-minute thing that Rivet there has kicked the ball, but they didn't seem to know what was going on. They had no idea again, as you see here. Leroy, and it's actually come off the Bradford player, but it will be a Bradford feed because it was accidental.
Yep, it was accidental, and if it comes off the Bradford player accidentally into touch, it is still their head and ball. A rule introduced last season. But as you say, Steve, there does seem panic on that fifth tackle for Leeds.
Well, you're not putting any pressure on Bradford at all. Joe, in the last play, you should at least be trying to put pressure on your opposition. And
that's down to Graham Holroyd. He has to take control in that situation. He's the kicker of the team, he's a tactician, and he knows he should be putting pressure on them with the little kicks or the bomb.
Well, it was that little kick from Holroyd in the opening minutes that produced the try. Perhaps we may see some more. But it's Bradford coming back now. Let's see what their tactics are on this fifth tackle. And there is a kick from Tomlinson. And it's a good one. The bounce is there, but well taken. Richie Blackmore. I think a lot is expected of this big centre now. Oh, good run there from Blackmore. And a quick play the ball. Sheridan attacking that short side. Mr. Smith gets in the way there.
Unlucky there, Leeds. I think once you run into the referee, it should be a scrum with your feet.
Good run by Sterling, and Leeds are fairly coming back, steaming back into this game now. Newton having a go himself. Oh, the knock-on.
I think Bradford knocked on first. Bradford knocked the ball down. I think it'll be a Leeds feed.
Well, yes, that's what Mr. Smith is signalling. A knock-on there from Mercer, but the first knock-on, well spotted, Steve, from Bradford. So, head and ball, another 6 to Leeds. The pressure still on the Bulls.
Very noticeable, Barry McDermott's third to the pack here to take this ball up first, try and bring the defence in with a strong run.
That's good tactics there by Leeds, putting the big prop forward. That stand-off, charging in, taking 3 to put him down, drawing in the cover. Sheridan. Oh, crossing. Well, Sheridan really was looking to put the pass to Marcella. He overran him. He couldn't get the pass away. Crossing. It's a penalty. Bradford Bulls supporters in the stadium, I think, sense that there could be a slight hitch on the way to Wembley, roaring their players on now. It's 48 years since Bradford last got their hands on that cup. Runners-up last season. Tomlinson. Some tired men out there now. Sonny Nicol. Oh, forward pass. Quite a few of the players now, Joe, they're trying to push the ball, aren't they?
Yeah, they're forcing the pass when there's no real need for it. Both teams need to settle down and try and control the football. From Bradford's point of view, keep the lead they have. If anybody, it should be Leeds that are trying to force the pass a little bit more.
A lot of tackles made already though, Steve.
Yeah, Bradford 102 to 97. There's a lot of hard work going on from both teams out there.
There's no real need to push the ball. I mean, with 17 minutes remaining, yeah.
Sonny Nicol never had control of the ball to throw a good pass there. He should have just taken the tackle, tried to play the ball quick, and Bradford were on a bit of a roll.
And there's another slip, another lost ball from Leeds. Laughlin. Leroy Rivet trying to recover himself. Tomlinson. Good tackling. Bradley. And McDermott just took a knock to the head in that tackle. And so did Graham Bradley. He's having a breather. It's been hard, it's been tough, and there's a long, long time to go yet. The gaps will come in this on this pitch as one or two of these big men find it difficult to get across, and possibly a timely substitution here again. Jamie Matthew limbering up. Danny Peacock too, itching to get on for the Bulls. McDermott has been on all the time. Number 22. It's a sensible kick, but it's not worked out as James Lowe's wanted. He wanted to keep Leeds penned down in that corner. He doesn't do so. It's a tap on the 20-metre line.
The idea was right, but they needed to put that in the field of play, scrum it down, slow the play down, but he's given the ball back to Leeds on their 22-metre area.
Whatever the result, a big difference in this Leeds side from last season. Third from the bottom of the league last year. Lost a lot of support, but it's coming back there to Headingley now. Just Cummins, Holroyd, Morley and Hassan remaining from last season's semi-final in this Leeds team. 15 minutes remaining. Can Leeds get back on level terms? Hassan. Blackmore did well then. But this Bradford defence is coming in so quickly, so strongly. Leeds having to take options there. Oh! Well, it wasn't an obstruction. You don't have to move out of the way. Sterling simply ran into the Bradford defender there.
If you're going to pick someone to run into, you would have thought he'd pick someone smaller than McDermott.
Yep, he's built a bit like a sideboard, isn't he? And there is the man, McDermott, a former Marine, a former professional boxer. So, Robbie Paul. Lowe's again, making ground at the ruck area. Tomlinson. He's in touch. Glenn Tomlinson taking the wrong option here. Here we see he looks for support. He doesn't find it. And Rivet throws him into touch.
He had the support first up. Scales come in third on the angle there. He should have given it to Scales because Scales was going to run into a big hole.
Just a stoppage in play as that cut underneath Bernard Dwyer's nose and the lip has opened up again. So Paul Medley back to the action. And a gallant effort there from Bernard Dwyer, one of the real workers in the game. Blackmore beginning to run strong here now. And my word, Leeds need him to do just that. Sheridan to Morley. Sheridan again, attacking the heart of this Bradford defence. McDermott only knows one way, and that's forward. Oh, he just couldn't get that ball on the inside. Good holding there by his namesake, Brian. But still Leeds, Holroyd trying to cut through on the fifth tackle. Now then, our Leeds a little better organised. Sheridan. Well, I don't think they were, Steve, were they?
They weren't ready again. Ryan Sheridan, he did have pressure put on him by the Bradford defence coming through quickly, but he rushed the kick, and once again it was a nothing kick.
The roar, come on you Bulls, ringing around the stadium. We're coming to the final 12 minutes now of this match. I still think, Joe, there'll be some tries yet.
Yes, I think you'll see Robbie Paul now take the initiative, use the chance to take the ball from acting halfback and really run at the Leeds players. He's done it on a couple of occasions and had a half break. If he gets a full chance here, then he'll definitely score.
Bradley. And there is Paul at the acting halfback position to Raihana. Good tackle, oh, and a good pass out of the